an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order!
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man, Mr. E paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. But we're coming live. Woo! Oh my goodness. Now you know we are here. So you know what I have to say. Thank you, God, for getting me up this morning. I really appreciate that. To be able to do this show and just to be able to say I love you to my loved ones. And you know, that is so important. And I really have to say that because gratitude and being grateful for just getting one day just to do that. I only asked for one day. And you know, it's a lot going on and I just want that one day. Each day, take it or leave it, but I'm going to take whatever he gives me. So with that being said, you know, I have to give so much acknowledgement to everyone. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV. And as you know, you saw the trailer for Three Coins Inception movie, still available on Prime Video. Thank you guys. I really love you guys for watching the movie. Thank you so much. As you know, I always bring amazing guests on the show, and I think everyone is amazing. And I meet so many people all over. And I'm grateful because, I get to do that. This is something I like to do. Being a psychologist, especially a doctor in, human minds and behaviors, I get to meet so many people and, view their attitudes and change behaviors and help them to live a better life. So when I bring on guests on this show, it's not just because, I just want you to watch and know about them. I want you also to know that they're human beings first. And that's so important because that, people think that, your status with your prefix or suffix or accolades in your life, that you're above somebody else. No, I want to let you know that there's nobody, we're all the same. Just, we just run after our dreams and we do other things differently. But my platform is all about sharing and caring. So when I bring guests on my show, including myself, I'm sharing and caring and explain things that how I did it. Now that's the best way I can do it because I think that is all very important to do. Now I bring a lot of people on here. It doesn't matter what kind of status you have or who you are. You could be a celebrity, a filmmaker, and I have a lot of experience in different areas. So I have, a bunch of people that I know. But I have to say to you today is that, over the times that I've been in awards ceremonies and, the luxury gala, I'll say, that was a wonderful one. This next individual, he really is amazing. He's a guest of mine, but let me just explain because, I like to keep it real. He is a person first, I am going to elaborate on who he is and what I know of him, only because I'm excited because of this. I was a child, and being a child watching sitcoms is like, wow, amazing. When you see people on TV, you say to yourself, is that real? Those people are not real. Like, that's what I'm thinking as a young kid. And I remember watching this individual, and I'm not sure, I guess I'm telling my age. I'm not sure if everyone remember this, but this gentleman, his name is Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, and he played a role, Freddie Boom Boom Washington on Welcome Back Carter. And I remember when I was a little girl, I was look at this and say, the thing I would say is that he looks like me, the color. I know that's kind of like, hey, it's just something I saw. He looks like me. Wow. And it was exciting to see. But when I start realizing something, that show was also diverse. That means there was many different cultures on there and different ethnic groups on there, which was amazing. They even had that back then. But so it's amazing to know that he's going to be on my show. And oh my gosh, he's been acting for years. I mean, he played on Roots. I mean, that is like amazing. And oh my goodness, here you go. The Michael Jackson movie, The American Dream, to play Joe Jackson. Hello, you guys already know I'm a fan of the Jacksons, especially Janet. I met her and we talked. Still wait for you, Janet. But it was amazing. And she played on, with Angela Bassett. I've worked with her husband and still wait for you, Angela. But, these amazing people he has worked with. And I'm just happy that he agreed to be a guest on my show. So let me say this. I'm going to go on break, but I'm going to come back. But I'm excited too. But remember, I got to know about him first. So be patient. We'll get to other stuff too. But I need to know about him because I'm all about positive psychology and I got to know about the person first. So, with that being said, we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere, friend. We'll be right back with the amazing Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that. Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all.
It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayal. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. Woo! Yes, before I went on break, I know I felt like a little kid going on break and couldn't wait to come back. So I'm going to bring my amazing and handsome guest, okay? Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Come on in here, Lawrence.
Hey, what's going
How you
on,
doing,
Dr.
dear?
Lady,
How are
Lady
you?
Doc? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
I'm good.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
thank you for being a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show.
absolutely.
I know you're so busy, and I know we've known each other now for maybe 2 years. I've seen
Yeah,
you that
the
award last
Academy
year too.
Award party. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And you know what? And I'll probably send this to you. They did some type of write up, star marketing something, and we're in that. You'll see it. I'll send it to you. And that
Cool.
they did that I think last year. So it was kind of
Mhm.
interesting. I saw it on Google. But with that being said, now Lawrence, you know, and I think you probably looked at some of my segments, and I'm all about positive psychology. And it's not just about what your status is. And I know you're a great actor and I'm a fan of yours. Believe me, I am. And but here's the thing. When I talk about positive psychology, I talk about people and real struggles and things they've been through and who they are as a person, not just what you do for others and being an actor, but really who do you identify yourself to you?
I mean, me. I mean, just by coincidence, I'm here in New York City, and this morning we went to a charter school, a specialized school in Brooklyn, with the mayor, Eric Adams, and we talked to a bunch of amazing young kids who are in a preparatory school for how they can get out into the workforce world. And they were asking me, "What is your take on that?" And I said, "On how you, instrument yourself to be able to take on these kind of adventures or face things." I said, "Well, for me, everything starts with your truth. You got to be honest." Because we know our limitations. We know when we're BSing. We know when we're not being honest or being forthcoming. That is the pull and push of how we can always springboard to bigger and better. But you have to also decide and accept that I can get it. You have to know you can win. You don't get well unless you want to get well. So that's where I come from with things. I'd rather just get into the simple truth of whatever we're trying to accomplishment, or if it's some achievement to envelope to, we have to claim it or and recognize of what it is. It may not even be in our grasp to say that we know how to handle it, but at least you know what it is, and you're being honest with that, and you can springboard from that, and that bases it out of your own sensibilities and many of the things, which is basically our sensibilities, our experience, our lives down the line. So I come from there. That's my basis.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. You know, and I have a lot of people that's watching, and I want to say I'm religious, I'm Christian, but that's my norm because I was born in that, setting. But not everybody was born believing in God. And so when something happens to me, I go to my truth and I pray and I ask God for direction. Do you have a religion mechanism that you believe in or anything if you do?
I believe this. I believe that we didn't get here by accident. And there has to be there's always something that thrusts us forth. So that is a higher power. People will categorize it as God or Allah or whatever they want to label it. It's the same power that's in us. And if you're a Bible thumper or not, you do have that centering point to come from. It's like when you're a little kid and you just understand how to chill out or how to fix something or how to excel. Where did that come from? And whatnot, or some instinctual things that we do. That came from some other force that's in us that was given to us. That has to be a higher power. And so I'm not a religious thumper, but I'm not against it at all. And so that's my belief system is that, there is an absolute, I call it a power, a force, whatever you want to call it, that's in us that was given to us you know, before we were born, and we accentuate from that and move forward. That's the springboard.
Wow, that's amazing. You know what? And many people feel like, being judged because they do practice a different religion. And I'm glad that you said that, a higher power. And we look at that and say, hey, you don't have to label it with a name. You don't have to, but you know that we didn't just get here like poof, here we
No way.
are, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So
No,
I
we're
love
we're
that you
we're we're
put
we're
it that
we're,
way.
we're, we're we're a combination of many things. I mean, we can go into tradition and things that are part of our heretic background and so forth. Our families, how we raise children. All these components starts to tell us how to be, but that comes from something that sometimes it was already given to us, and we don't know how to spearhead it yet. But we know we have to go forward. So if you said we don't have to label it, we don't, but we do have to recognize it and we have to acknowledge that that is there and accept that, and that's how you bounce forward. Call it religion, call it the higher power. It's the same drill, you know. And we have
Mhm.
to accept it. So that's where it's stuff. That's being honest again. Again, you have to go back to your honesty. You have to go back to your truth. Start with the truth that's in your heart, that's in you. Get all the distractions out of the way and all of this fanfare that we want to give an impression to make ourselves like seem like we're cooler or cuter or something. Come on, get onto the real, and that starts with
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. I love that you said that. I mean, really, because many people are looking for direction. And that's what my platform is about. People looking for direction and not to be judged just because I chose this path. And that's what it's all about. And so I
And
love
not
how
even,
you
if you
sum
just
that
said
up.
something about being even judged, they can judge you. Because anybody's going to have their point of view or their deciding idea what you're supposed to be, but that doesn't mean that has to be a deterrent for you. You
There
know,
you go.
it's like if you're a fighter and you're fighting, you learn how to keep a jab in somebody's face and stuff like that. Well, you have to also take a couple of tags and know how not to take one. And stuff like that. You have to learn how to maneuver, but you have to be in the mix of it. So if somebody puts judgment, that means that's not a definitive. That's not the absolute. That's just somebody's point of view or their opinion. You can
That's
extract from
right.
that and then you go forward. If you let it devastate you, then you're not believing in you. You're not being of your strength and your worthiness. You're just being a chump. And that's just not going to be happening. That's out.
Wow, that is so deep, and I'm so glad that you said that. See, you hear it now. I'm loving it because I'm also a student here, and I'm taking notes. Because even being a doctor in clinical psychology, we're not perfect, and we look at things, especially when I have other clients and people talk. I'm like, look, this is how we think, and it's okay. You don't have to be so hard on yourself just because you feel
Sure.
this way. So I'm glad that you said that. And you know what? On that note, so we got more. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I'm just excited. We're going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere, fam. We are still with the
Don't go.
amazing and handsome Lawrence Hilton
All right.
Jacob.
Cool deal.
It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is. Because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories, and that is why I like film. Because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that. Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Well, we're coming live. Woo! We are still with the amazing and handsome Lawrence Hilton. Come on in here. Jacobs. Welcome back, my dear.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. You know what? Before we went on break, we finished up with the religion and your intake about that. But you know what? Here's my thing. I have to ask this question because there's many people that's watching right now and they're wondering, okay, you know what do you do when you have a challenge? Because I've wake up to a challenge that I'm just like, ugh, I don't know how to get through it. And there is times that people commit suicide. And I always say it, and let me tell you something, I hate that. I hate it with a passion because I feel like this. It can change. one day at a time, people. It will change. It might seem worse now, but it will change. If you just stay in it one time, I promise your time will come. It will come. We're all going to go through it. You don't
You
need
know,
to
you
cut
just said
yourself
something about
short.
when you have that kind of opposition going on you know, in anything that is a challenge, you know, there is also a belief of how you can get above it. If you, it's not going to be always an easy road, but you have to decide or believe or point to yourself that I can get above this. You know, we have to help ourselves.
Right.
Depression and challenges and frustrations, and we go, "Arr, how are we going to handle this?" Well, we may not have the answers, but at least you can recognize this is what it is. So that'll give you some kind of a format to be able to just say, let me start getting the angles together. But we must also chill out enough so we can allow ourselves, to be open enough to receive some other ideas, wherever they come from, ourselves, who we might talk to, if it's religious, or if somebody tell you a good line. I mean, many years ago, I was talking on the phone with Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac said something really
Oh,
simple.
no.
He was just talking about many things, and he says, Lawrence,
Mm,
I'm about keeping the stress less express. Pretty
yeah.
simple, but it made sense. We have to chill. We have to want to go forward. We have to give ourselves a chance to get there. We have to sometimes re-educate ourselves on where we've been educated on because we strayed off on the impact of what it really meant. We're human. We're raising children. Whatever we do, that's a lot of work. You get off, and we do get frustrated. But if we let ourselves get so locked up in the fear of that or the anguish of that, then all we're doing is we're like a live wire. We're just all over the place. We have to center
Right.
it and try to get onto, at least we can say, okay, that's an electrical wire. That's me. Okay, well, how do I get that? Oh, I put some tape on that, which means I got to cover it down, which means I'm dealing, what's in my heart, what's in my head, or in my experience, and give me a chance to let it come out into an answer. It won't be a perfect answer, but it's a way station to getting yourself healed. That is it. It's that simple, but that's what's difficult within it because we're people. We like to intellectualize things. We want to philosophize about them almost like we're doing a dissertation, as opposed to sometimes somebody will get in and says, "Well, you have a problem. You have to really go stringently into yourself, and you must be deep. And you must let it expound." When we really break it down, and says, "Man, you need to just cut it out, Negro." Then that's really,
Mhm.
it's right there.
That's right.
Now we have something solid to deal with that we can hold on to, or tangible is the better word.
Wow. You know
Yeah.
what? And I love that how you sum that up. But have you ever had a challenge yourself that you just felt like
All my
I
life,
don't know what?
we challenge all the time. I'm in a tough business called show business. There's many challenges. You can be struggling or trying to get to a certain achievement level. It doesn't happen. Then you get a moment where it's like ta-da, and everything is wonderful. Then it just seems like it's cut off. In the interim, while you're trying to figure out those imbalances, you still have life going on. You have your kids. You have your wife or your husband. You have to pay the bills. So so those become very challenging because you get scared, you get frustrated, you get pressured. But here's
Mm,
something that, and I don't know how, I'm going to say it the way I'm going to feel it. You have to know you're a winner. You're a queen. I'm a king. We got to
mm,
claim that, and
right.
that's where we have to come from. And not as just like a holier than thou. No, it's a fact. We have to put ourselves in a regal, strong position of who we are, and that'll help us to at least start getting on the path to things that can be better and more constructive and profitable or successful for us. Giving into the woe, you can have that moment, but get over it soon so you can solve or achieve where you want to go. Other than that, you just in dwelling in mire, and then that's going nowhere. That's just a spiral to nowhere. Who needs that? I'm not with it.
Mm. I love it. I love that you said we are a winner, king and queens. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you summed that up like that because there are people that do not know their leaders. We all recognize ourselves as followers before we realize that we're leaders. And we need somebody to follow. So when you hear that, it's like believe yourself, believe in yourself that you are a winner. And you have to tell yourself that because there is times that the door was shut, there's times that people just said put you down and you felt that you wasn't worthy. There's people that's watching and feel like that. Because
You're
depression,
right.
all the
We're
mental
not
illnesses
here for nothing.
make sense.
We are
Hmm.
worth something.
That's
And it
right.
can be in the leadership. And if you need to follow to get there, we still have merit in our worth. That has to be
That's right.
understood. You're not nothing. You're something, and there's something behind that that has that has a shine to it. So this you have to remind yourself sometimes of, but never let it go. Don't give into none of that stuff. But that's not that's a learned behavior because we have to train ourselves. We got life going on around us all the time. So how do we get through it? Well, it's not always easy, but we can do it. You gotta give ourselves a chance. We have to lay back. We have to maybe take a day off, take a break here to get ourselves clear, but come back to it and solve it. Don't put it under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist. It's still there if you don't solve it. Whether the frustration might be or the aspects of life that we're trying to go to achieve some clarity so we can be stronger people, more loving, more caring, have find the kindness in us, to understand what the anger should mean so we don't let that deter us to become evil, and be full of
Yeah.
dissent. You know, I'm sounding a little preacherish here, but that's what it is.
It's
You know,
okay.
yeah,
People need to hear that, and we're looking for that because I'm in the
absolutely,
world of psychology and behavior and helping people within themselves, and we need this. I mean,
yeah,
everyone needs to hear somebody's struggle or challenges or giving something. Sharing is caring. I mean, we have generation, as you mentioned, kids, grandchildren. I mean, what are we leaving them? A legacy of struggle, or a legacy of struggle and know how to get out of it with a mindset of survival. And that's so important. So we need
you
to
say
leave
something,
that.
something that's really key for me. The many things you just said there, what we put into each other, what we put into the kids is going to be the future. So that also is like, where it comes from. So, I mean, you see when kids are grown and they're 5 years old and 6 years
That's
old, they're
right.
whatever. When they start to become young teenagers, they get self entitlement. They think they know it all,
Oh,
which we've been through it, both of us, and then, they turn 18 and realize they don't know any of it, and now it's figuring out for a long time. But we need to instill certain ideas in them. So at some point in their life, they can say, that's that. That's what mom said. That's what dad said. That's what uncle said. Oh, at least I know what it is. Now I can deal with it because I made it a tangible.
that is, you're right.
Yeah.
That is amazing that you said that. uh, I'm going to keep saying amazing because that's how I feel. When I hear something that's energy and good, and I just know people will benefit from it, I'm just praising
Yeah.
it and I'm feeling all giddy inside. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
on that note, we are going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere. We are still with amazing and handsome Lawrence Hilton.
All right.
It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your
Right.
mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayal. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that is because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Well, we're coming live. Woo! We are still with the amazing Lawrence. Come on in here.
Here I am. Still
I'm
hanging.
so glad. Thank you for coming back. Well, you know what, Lawrence? I know we were talking before we went on break, legacy and what we leave behind for the younger generation. But here's the thing also that's so important. And, I'm a psychology and all about, health and taking care of yourself. What do you do for self-care? Because, many people do things around here and they forget taking care number one. What do you do?
I have simple things. I mean, every other day I take a 2, 3 mile walk and I play my own psychiatrist. That's my therapy. Let my mind stay clear. I get the walking, so that helps me stay a little healthier. But I think about things that might be bothering me or something I'm trying to work out. Or sometimes I just go with the flow, I'll sing a song, but it gives me a feeling of freedom, and it's a security that I can completely just be absorbed into because I can let it be and control it, and I allow myself to get free. This is learned over the years that we must allow ourselves to you know throw up on life sometimes, to be able to get it to
Hmm.
make some sense or throw it out, you know and so that is my thing. Now I play music. I've been playing keyboards for 5,000 years, and
That's
I'll just
right.
sometimes
You are
I'll
a
go to the
singer.
phone and piano and or sing or whatever, and float away. We all have our way, of doing that. I think what we're both saying is that we have to find that zeal, to let ourselves get through. And again, as we've been talking through the whole show here, we have to allow ourselves to get where we want to go. And if we don't allow it, how can you get there? You're going to get into
There
a
you
relay
go.
race and say, I want to lose. You say, I'm going to
That's
win, and you work towards that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? And I hear all the positivity and the energy, and it's wonderful. But many people don't have that, and they're working towards that. And that is it's amazing that you say all these things. But you got to work toward and believe it. I think that's
Well,
another
it's
thing.
not easy, when we're, well, as you were saying, many people believe it, some others can't, or have a frustration in believing it. That is the quest. How do we get there? Well, in our privacy, we can be anything we want. So you can give yourself a chance to be ugly or crazy or nutty and this and that and get that out there. And now you got something to deal with. When you go out into the world, people are going to be judgmental or have opinions, or be condescending or not want to hear you, because they don't feel like hearing you. But in your privacy, that's the workshop. That's how you get it, or the woodshed. You get yourself to expose these things about yourself, or open up to them, or expose is the word, and then you have something to deal with and say, well, I'm frustrated. I don't know how to speak to people, or I'm afraid what they might think. Well, by even saying that, you're acknowledging that to yourself, that, okay, I got to get over this. That's the problem, because I'm not allowing myself to do that. Let me try to start figuring out, think about how I can do that. And you open that
That's right.
door, and it is all psychology, and we have to play our own
Yes, it is.
psychologist and best friend and
That's
manager
right.
and parent, and pastor, preacher, priest. We have to do that with ourselves, and then let it come back to the truth of who you are, so it can come out as who you are, not as a judgment,
Wow.
just truth. Yes.
Oh, and I love that truth. Thank you. I love it. I love it. You know what? Let me ask you another question. Is it, we eat foods. Everybody love eating foods and stuff like that.
Oh,
But when people wake up, there's certain things that people eat to give them that boost or make them feel positive. Because the hardest thing these days for a lot of people, and I say many people, is to get out of the bed and have a reason to get out of the bed. Is this something like maybe you do? I mean, you did mention that you like walking and stuff like that. Is it something that you eat or something like that that you put in your body that helps you say, "Hey,
no,
I'm
no.
ready for
I
the
know
day"?
a lot of people have their morning coffee. I don't drink coffee. I haven't ever. I don't smoke. I never did one drug in my entire life. None. No heroin, no cocaine, nothing. And I'm 71, and that's the way my life works. But we all have something to thrust us forward, and the way we say, like, some people want to just stay in the bed, or they don't want to get out of the house. Well, I even talk to friends sometimes. I said, you can take a walk around the block. That ain't far. But in that little
That's
venture,
right.
you open yourself up, you know, or you don't have to look at television today. Or if a phone call
Hmm.
comes in the middle of the night, you don't have to freak out and think it's the worst message. Even if it's a bad message, it's going to be a bad message 5 minutes later if you don't. But you can give yourself a chance to get ready for that. So calm down, chill
There
out,
you go.
and then find out what's going on.
There
And
you
then from
go.
there, that becomes the resolve. The world keeps us in a rush today. It's impersonal. The social aspects, how people get along with each other, is gone out the out the window. It seems like, because nobody wants to be. They're like this. You'd say anything to them, and in 5 seconds they're trying to Google it. I said, well, let's talk about it. We may be able to figure it out, and just having a back and forth conversation, even if it's a banter, it still can be fun. We may get a smile and a laugh out of it, but to keep removing ourselves from the equation of being people to people
Communication.
based on
Mhm.
something that's already created by someone else, which is pre-digested, that's not us. That's just a version of a version of a version, and we make it our version.
That's
Come on.
right. You know what?
Yeah.
Good point, because communication, I always I explain that communication is important. And I know we love technology, but hey, it still is good to talk to somebody. How are you doing? What are you feeling like that? Talk to
Write
them.
something
Why
down on a,
you
on a pad. What's wrong with writing it down on a
Yes,
pad?
there you
It's
go.
okay. Yeah. You don't have to type
It's
it in
all
the email.
right.
Yeah,
It's
nothing wrong
okay.
with that.
We don't
Yeah.
do that. I mean, people got the text, and don't
Crazy.
get me wrong, I get it. If it gets you to write, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you can say certain things in the text that doesn't come across what you really wanted to say. So you can still get on the phone and call, and you get the right
What
message
we're, what
that
we're
way.
doing right now is we're looking at each other. We're having a FaceTime, a back and forth communication in a real time, and
That's
it's
right.
just really different than a text message with, and then this SMS thing, which never gets it right. When you're going,
That's,
it confuses. Trying to say, so we sometimes just need to take a break from that and just get to
that's right.
the heart of the truth of it.
That's
The
right.
simplicity of that. Sure, I like it like that. I prefer it.
I love it. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Oh my goodness, you're amazing.
Yeah,
And on
it's all
that
good.
note, you're welcome, my dear. And on that note, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, fam. We are still with the amazing, handsome Lawrence Hilton Jacob.
All right.
Because you mentioned and said, I believe in God and I surrendered. And when someone is addicted to something, it's a challenge. It's tough. What was that moment that you said, I can't do it anymore?
Well, in book number 2, I talk about how I've been to prison. My prison number is 589931. I'll have that number for the rest of my life. It's just not a functional number. I talk about how I was delivered from a homosexual lifestyle. I talk about how I had a man that left me for another man. I talk about how I had a man that was HIV but never told me, but I'm sitting here today. I don't have AIDS, HIV. And I have a lot of people always say, your immune system was so strong. No, that was the blood of Jesus that covered me.
I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that is because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. See, I can't even say it really because I'm just laughing. Come on in here, Lawrence. I'm just laughing, to be
It's
honest.
all gravy. It's good.
I'm telling you, and this is how it is on my show. He gets me. Okay. Lawrence, it's always a pleasure, and to have you on this show, and saw
Thank you.
you and at the both awards ceremonies. It's just fun, fun, fun. But you know what? I have to ask this question. You know, when you started acting, and how challenging was that? When I want to go into the Welcome Back Powder, and you've been on many, like the Roots and the American Dream of the Jacksons. How did this start? How did Welcome Back Carter open the door for everything else? Because there was limits, and you went through them. Wasn't that just like, wow?
Well, Welcome Back Kotter was not first. Welcome Back Kotter, but that became something that may have stuck out and had some prominence to it, or the
Okay.
other things, Coolie High, or whatever I had done. But it started, with doing theater. I did a lot of theater in New York, and it was street theater and free theater and theater that nobody came to see, but I was performing. A lot of actors were coming up with me later on, had careers. It was a Denzel Washington, whoever. We were all out there trying to figure it out. Jeff Goldblum. We were all out there together, trying to figure
Wow.
it out, in New York City. And we
Mhm.
were all young guys. We were all like 18 and 17 years old at the time. Things springboard for different reasons, and that's my life, and stuff like so. I didn't, it was a different mindset because we came out of the last days of what I call the last days of the old school, where it was all the Yaphet Kotos and the James Earl Joneses and the Julius
Yeah.
Harris, and all these kind of peoples, and even Claudia McNeil, who was in A Raisin in the Sun, who lived across the street from me when I was a kid. And I was afraid of her because she looked like she was this giant woman, and she always looked so mean at me all the time. But these was around me, and I could talk to them. There was a guy who used to be in the park, big, tall, skinny guy, shooting basketball hoops and practicing. His name was Lou Alcindor, but he later on became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He lived in the projects across the street from me.
Wow.
His father had a bar up in Harlem. This is all around. And so you can only, it was a part of the natural for me, but they would talk to me like a little brother or like an uncle, and they always left me, it made me feel included. So I'm like that now with any young person that wants to talk about anything. If they're sincere, they got my time anytime, and I'll give it to them straight. I don't butter it, or even raising kids. I never took baby talk. If the kid was going silly, so I said, "Come here, little girl. You know you're tripping without your luggage. Let's talk." I would just get, I would just get to this. I said, "Well, the tears, okay, but tell me." I believe in that. I believe that we have to. So to think about the journey in terms of just the accolades of a successful project, those results come afterwards. But you've started before that. There's a journey to get there that builds you up. Builds your character. It develops your talent and stuff like that. But it also develops your life skills on how to be finesseful, how to be community. How to have social abilities. These are the
Right.
things that, how to be able to know how to fill out a check or balance a checkbook.
That's right. Wow.
All
Yeah.
these things are all the aspects that will make us stronger performers, or whatever our jobs choices will be down the line. These are the factors that help us along the way. So when something happens and it becomes Welcome Back, Cotter, and it's a hit, you know, there's a road that got us there. It didn't happen because we were in the mood or we just was just lucky. You have to earn your stripes, and you have to take a couple of punches and learn how to duck them. And or accept that if it didn't work out for you, that's okay. Just move forward, keep it going, and not just fall apart in frustration, or oh, they don't like me, or I'm not cute enough, and all that other nonsense that people want to make you believe. That's not important. It's important that you stay truthful to yourself. You go forward what you can do or what you can come from, and you enjoy it, of course. And when it's had its time, then you move on. Because you're not ending. You're not over. This is just that adventure. That's that journey.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm. And I love that you said that. It's not over. It's just that journey. And
yeah.
that's wonderful said. So thank you for that. You know what? If people wanted to support you, what are you doing now? I know that you said theater. And how can we find you? What your new project? I mean, how can we
I've been
find you and do
real
all
busy
this
lately,
stuff?
to the point of being nuts. But I mean, I did a movie called War Dogs.
Yeah.
Left it, went right into doing the play Jason's Lyric Live. I did a short film with Glenn Turman called When They're Gone. On top of that, I've been on so many talk shows, on the Sherry Shepherd Show. I'm all over.
Yes, yes.
TV One. I mean, it's been cuckoo, lately. But that's a good thing. It's a good cuckoo. I'm, I'm not a person that pushes myself real hard on those kind of things, but obviously it's there. There's social media. You find things on Facebook and Instagram, and it
Yeah.
seems like anything I do is all over the web. So because I've been around, for more minutes than somebody else,
Yeah.
and so I'm busy and moving forward. Yeah,
Yes. And so basically people can Google you and what about
and
theater
and they
work
get
if
sick of me. Google knows they have too much. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And you're doing theater work so people can watch that too and
Yeah.
find out how to see that. So I say Google because I'm not sure where you're gonna be, if you're gonna, where the
You
theater
know,
show.
else let you know what's going on, or when something is coming out
Okay.
with the new TV show or movie, that is always, through some kind of a search engine, you can find that out. I mean, if they want to
Mhm.
look me up personally, they can look up, LHJ Man on Instagram and find out my life and see what's going on. I might even learn something about me. So there you go.
I know.
Mhm.
There's some things that come up and you're just like,
Oh,
wow,
okay,
okay.
okay, that's okay, that's okay.
I didn't know that. No, and you
Yeah.
know what's so funny because I saw something and it said Star Marketing and it was a picture with you, Earl Jones. Is it Earl? No, no. Satoon. Was it Satoon?
Who-
Celebration, Sir Tunes. Call Sir Tune, Earl Sir Tunes. Anyway, he's the one with he produced the music Celebration. Now,
oh,
come on. Yeah,
okay.
it was him, you, me, and another guy in my DP. Like I said, I was gonna send you, but I didn't see that until not too long ago, and I was like, oh, where did that
Yeah.
come
Oh,
from?
no, that is us. Yeah. No, okay.
That's us, okay.
That's how
And
it
that was
happened. It
like a
happens when it
year
needs to
ago.
happen. Yeah, but we don't control that, and so again, if a thing on that, things that we cannot control, we should not let ourselves get nuts over. Things will fall out in their own time of play, and if it's something that you can't control, then don't concern yourself with that because that's wasting your strength. You're taking your strength and you're giving away your power to something you couldn't do anything about anyway. So why go there? Realize that there's so much in us, that we can help us get
Mhm.
through the moment. It's not the all-solving answer, but it'll get us to the moment so we can get to a bigger and better. Well, all those sayings like
Oh,
greater for later, that's real, you know?
that is real talk right there. And I love
Mhm.
that you said that because that's what people feel like they're lost, and especially when you have people that's stuck in the past and they need to move forward. They can't. They feel like they can't because they keep bringing their past in the future, and that hinders them from making more steps or even bettering themselves. So I'm
We have
glad
to
that you
keep
said that. You know
growing.
what? On this note,
We have to keep
hmm
growing, and we have to keep
keep
going forward.
growing. Yep,
And what you said that people getting locked into the past or what was their great,
that's right.
accolade, whatever. I said, well, that's fine. We don't, discount that, but that was then, and this is now.
There
So
you
how do you
go.
make it work right now? Well, you would think, that they would still love us. I said, you don't have to wait for that or depend on that. You got to love you, and then
Ooh,
and things will go forward.
I love
Muhammad
it. I love
Ali
it.
Muhammad Ali used to say that, man, you got to learn to love yourself because that's the greatest love of all. That's not an ego
Oh, I'm
thing.
so glad that you
That's
said
the
that.
thrusting
That's
your heart
not,
of,
and
yeah.
it's really not. And I love that you said that. And you know what? On that note, we are going to go on a commercial. We're going to take a commercial, but I love that you said love yourself. You hear that, fam? Love yourself. So you can love others too.
Hmm.
We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere, fam. We are still with the amazing and handsome Lauren.
Hanging in there.
It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Fighting over custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order. I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive. This is not justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice.
You're trying to have a judge removed.
All sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K and Mr. Geek paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I gotta survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, where we're coming live. We are still with the amazing Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Come on in here.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know what, Lawrence, it was a wonderful pleasure to have you on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. I appreciate you so much and everything that you share. Sharing is caring, and I'm always going to believe that. You know, on that note, and I know that we have limited time, is there a quote that you live by? Like there's something, and you might have said it all through the segment, but is there a quote that you actually live by and you don't mind sharing? Because some people need that. You know, a quote from my dad is "Never stop trying," and that's what he left with me. Never stop trying. You
My
know,
quote,
and I always
for
carry
me,
that with me.
yeah, and for me is I say, live your honesty. That's it for me. Live your honesty. It says a lot. You know, that's a springboard to solving problems, finding your truth, keeping it real, keeping yourself open enough to absorb other people's points of view and allow them to have their journey as well. It all comes from that. It's a simple thing, but you got to live your honesty. I really mean that. And I try to live that, and I have lived that, of course. Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know, I
Mhm.
appreciate you sharing that. You heard it. Live your honesty, people. It helps you and stay positive. And you've heard Lawrence, and like he said, if you're looking for him, you can always just Google him. And he's been in all these different movies and everything like that. You can go ahead. I know there's some movies on Netflix, Amazon. You go support,
Yeah.
you know, and just watch his wonderful work. And he's an
Oh, yeah.
amazing
You
actor,
got to
amazing
eat, so you got
person
to
in
make a dollar.
person.
You got to
There
make a
you go.
couple of coins. Yeah. Mhm.
Keep
Oh
it
yeah, you know,
going. I get it.
keep it real. And keep it real.
I love it. You're amazing, and it's a blessing to meet you for the second year. And congratulations on your award again at the Luxury
Thank you.
Gala. Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah,
You're welcome.
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
I mean,
All right. Thank you again, and I appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your day.
thank
All
you,
right.
darling. You know, we cool. Okay, see you on the red carpet
You
again.
know it.
All right.
You know that's right. All right. Take care, my dear.
Okay, darling. Bye bye.
And you know, if you're looking for the Dr. Meleeka Clary, you know, you can find me on my website, drmeleekaclary.com. And you know, you can Google me, and my social medias are there: Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Thread, Snapchat. What else? And if I forgot one, I didn't mean it. X. You can Google me. You know, it was amazing to have Lawrence on the show. And I met so many people, like I told you before. I go to all these award ceremonies and I get, you know, receive awards and I meet so many interesting characters. And he is a wonderful person. I mean, in person, not just what you saw. And he's really true to what he meant, you know. So please take what he said to heart because, you know, sharing is caring, people. We're trying to help you live a better life. You know, I'm pro bono. There was no financial commitment here. So he shared that from his heart. So take that and run with it because we care. At the end of the day, that's what we do. We care. And that's what we want to be known for. It's caring. Sharing is caring. So, with that being said, I have to say again, thank you, fans. I love you all for watching my show and the movie and just sharing stuff. I see you. I see you. I do. I see you. And I want you to know that I do see you. So, thank you again. And if no one said I love you today, I love you. And I care about you your physical and your mental state of mind. And I want you to have a wonderful rest of the day and a weekend to come. And if your day's not that great, it'll get better, I promise. Just stay in there with me. Just stay with me. It'll get better, I promise. May God bless you and take care of yourself. I love you all. Mwah.
You've been watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Tune in next week as Dr. Meleeka will help you shift towards a better life. But this show doesn't stop there. She'll provide helpful tips regarding surviving the entertainment industry and the judicial system with practical information. Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on the Bold Brave TV network.